Last week I did a video on the strongest possible 11, in my opinion, of English players as yet uncapped by the England national team. One very popular suggestion in the comments was a similar video for French players, I suspect based on the fact that France have extraordinary depth to their national team right now, so it would make sense that there should be plenty of very talented French players without an international appearance to their name. And there are. France are of course the reigning world champions and Euro 2016 finalists, and you will probably have seen around the time of those tournaments some fantasy backup French 11s or a best 11 made up of players that weren't even included in those squads, emphasising the depth of talent available to Didier Deschamps and Les Bleus, and a number of talented young French players suggest that isn't about to end anytime soon. Any player who is eligible to represent France but hasn't yet won a full international cap for France or any other nation is eligible for this 11. Here is our best uncapped French 11. Goalkeeper, Alban Lafont. Well, we're off to a strong start, as I would suggest our number 1 is probably the second best young goalkeeper in the world behind Gianluigi Donnarumma. Aged 20, Lafont already has 144 appearances to his name at all with top flight clubs from Europe's top 5 divisions, which is extraordinary for a keeper of his age. Lafont was born in Burkina Faso, but moved to France at the age of 9, where he came through the youth ranks at Toulouse. After over 100 appearances for the Ligue side, he joined Fiorentina last summer, and after a season as number 1 in Serie A, he'll spend this season on loan at Nantes. Lafont has represented France 23 times at various youth levels, but he's yet to win a senior cap, with the likes of Hugo Lloris, Alphonse Areola, and Steve Mandanda for competition. Right back, Ruben Aguilar. The lack of European or international football Ruben Aguilar has played will mean he isn't all that familiar to a number of our viewers, but those of you who do watch Ligue and football will be well aware that he is a talent. A right back who loves to get forward and can whip a devilish ball into the box, Aguilar is also more than capable defensively. He hasn't always had it easy, dropping into the 4th tier with Grenoble after being released by Saint Etienne in 2013. He made his way back to the top with Auxerre and Montpellier though, now aged 26, and he was snapped up by Monaco for €9 million this summer. He is eligible to represent either France or Spain, but is yet to win a senior cap for either. Aguilar once received a call-up from Bolivia, despite the fact he has no Bolivian ancestry due to a glitch in the Football Manager database, which had led the Bolivian selectors to believe he was eligible to represent them. Centre-back, Dayo Upamecano. The next centre-back in this 11 was a very obvious inclusion, but the decision of who partners him was a tricky choice between 3 players. Dayo Upamecano is the youngest of the trio, and he undoubtedly has the greatest potential, so I've just edged towards him. Formerly of Red Bull Salzburg, Upamecano joined RB Leipzig in 2017, where he's made a big impression in a little over 50 appearances. Aged 20, he is already a phenomenal athlete with searing pace, and Arsenal made a big push to sign him this summer before being told they'd have to meet his £92 million release clause in order to sign him. Upamecano is unsurprisingly a key man for France's under-21s, and despite stiff competition, it's only a matter of time before he makes his full international debut. Centre-back, Aymeric Laporte. On the left side of centre-back is of course Aymeric Laporte, who is quite simply one of the best centre-backs in the world, and it's quite incredible to think that he is still uncapped at the age of 25. Laporte was a regular fixture for France at under 19 and 21 level, but previously said he would apply for Spanish eligibility if he wasn't picked for Euro 2016. He went through with that promise, but dropped the application when he was called up for 2 of France's 2018 World Cup qualifiers. However, he never got on the pitch and hasn't had a call-up since. Didier Deschamps says France simply have too many left-footed centre-backs, with Samuel Umtiti and Presnel Kimpembe already in the squad, but I think a good argument could be made for Laporte being better than both of those two. Left-back, Jerome Roussillon. Born in the suburbs of Paris, Jerome Roussillon represented France under 18 and under 20 level, but the now 26-year-old is still waiting for his first senior cap. Formerly of Sochaux and Montpellier in Ligue 1, Roussillon joined Bundesliga outfit Wolfsburg last summer, where he made 31 appearances in his debut campaign as the Wolves finished 6th. A really quick and determined left-back, Roussillon finds himself behind the likes of Lucas Hernandez, Luca Digne, and Ferland Mendy in the French pecking order, but there are many nations that wouldn't have yet handed him a single cap. Defensive midfield, Francis Coquelin. Our lead disruptor and anchor on ball-winning duties in front of our back four is Francis Coquelin. A popular figure at times at Arsenal, Coquelin had some poorly timed injuries that ultimately led to his departure, but few Gunners fans will be surprised to see him doing well at Valencia. A really hard-working and tough-tackling defensive midfield player with plenty of energy, Coquelin is 28 now, but the former youth international has never been called up to Le Blues' senior squad. He is eligible to represent Senegal should he give up on his hopes of winning a full cap for France. Central midfield, Abdoulaye Decorah. Playing in front of Francis Coquelin is a midfielder I've often talked about on this channel and one who I think has the talents to play at an even higher level than Watford, with all due respect to the Hornets. Abdoulaye Decorah represented France at virtually every youth level as a youngster at Rennes before joining Watford for a reported £5 million. He's closing in on 100 appearances at Vicarage Road now, where his athleticism, ability to drive the team up the pitch and to score the odd goal has made him a key man. France have an embarrassment of riches in central midfield, but Decorah certainly wouldn't look out of place in the national team. Central midfield, Matteo Guendouzi. The third Premier League player in this 11, Matteo Guendouzi, is another rare talent who can't get a look in with France. He made a whopping 48 appearances in his debut campaign with Arsenal last season as a 19-year-old, and it'll be interesting to see if he can kick on from that this season. Guendouzi is a well-rounded central or holding midfield player with good energy, technique, and a desire to win the ball back. With the right nurturing and application from himself, he stands a great chance of becoming a full France international in the not-too-distant future. Attacking midfield, Jordan Veretout. Playing just a little in front of Decorah and Guendouzi as the chief creator in this side is midfielder Jordan Veretout. Having been really highly thought of at Nantes in Ligue 1, Veretout had a pretty forgettable season at Aston Villa in 2015-16 as the club were relegated from the Premier League. He joined Fiorentina in 2017 though, where he's breathed new life into his career. He was excellent in 2017-18 and still impressive, albeit a little less brilliant last season. Veretout is hard-working and is a good passer of the ball, but it isn't that remarkable that he hasn't yet been given a cap given the strength Didier Deschamps has in his position. Centre forward, Sebastien Haller. The strike partnership may be a dying breed, but we've got one here, and the first of our duo of strikers is Sebastien Haller. I feel as though it is safe to say that no other nation wouldn't yet have capped Sebastien Haller right now given his form over the last 18 months. A real powerhouse of a 6'3" centre forward, Haller can play a bit too, and his combined total of 24 goal involvements was bettered only by Robert Lewandowski in the Bundesliga last season. The 25-year-old became West Ham's record signing this summer, but despite his exploits and an impressive 13 goals in 20 games for France's under-21s, he is yet to win a senior cap. Centre forward, Moussa Dembélé. Both of our centre forwards bagged 20 goals in all competitions last season, as Sebastien Haller is joined by Moussa Dembélé in attack. The former Fulham and Celtic star also has a really impressive output for France's under-21s with 13 goals from 25 games, but is still waiting for his first senior call-up. Despite being a Frenchman, last season was Dembélé's first in French football, and he found the net 20 times in 46 games, a record he looks likely to better this season with 3 goals from 2 games already. Haller and Dembélé are kept out of the France squad by the likes of Antoine Griezmann, Kylian Mbappe, Olivier Giroud and Alexander Lacazette. The team, including substitutes and a manager. Moving on to the substitutes, and our backup to Alban Lafont is 28-year-old recent Monaco signing Benjamin Lecomte. The strengths of the centre-backs mean we have 2 centre-backs rather than a centre-back and a full-back on the bench, and the duo in question are Willy Boly and Issa Diop. Both among the best central defenders in the Premier League outside of the top 6 clubs, either could have started in place of Dayo Upamecano but just missed out. Covering in defensive midfield we have Ibrahim Amadou, who was born in Cameroon but has represented France at youth level. Amadou played over 30 games for Sevilla last season but joined Norwich City on loan this summer. He's joined by talented Real Sociedad midfielder David Zurutuza, who is eligible to represent either France or Spain, but has only played 5 unofficial games for the Basque country to date, aged 33. Next up we had a healthy dose of creativity, versatility and flair in the form of Houssem Aouar. The Lyon youngster is already a star of Ligue 1 and France's under-21 side, and he certainly has the potential to become a full international in the coming years. Lastly, up front, as backup to Haller and Dembélé, we have to go with Anthony Modeste. Aged 31 now, Modeste has scored prolifically virtually everywhere he has ever played, and that includes with France's own under-21 side. He's currently contracted to Cologne, where he scored 6 goals in 10 games, but his chances of winning a first cap for France seem remote. In charge of our uncapped French 11 can only be one man, the great Arsène Wenger. One of the most influential managers of all time, Wenger created a dynasty at Arsenal, but he was no great shake as a player, never coming close to receiving a call-up to the French national team in the 1970s. As a result, he's the ideal candidate to manage our side. To recap, here are the 11 players at Wenger's disposal: Alban Lafont, Ruben Aguilar, Deo Upamecano, Aymeric Laporte, Jerome Roussillon, Francis Coquelin, Abdoulaye Decorah, Mathieu Guendouzi, Jordan Veretout, Sebastien Haller, and Moussa Dembele, with a bench made up of Benjamin Lecomte, Willy Boly, Issa Diop, Ibrahim Amadou, David Zurutuza, Hassim Aouar, and Anthony Modeste. That's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Feel free to give the video a like if you enjoyed it, in fact please do, and make sure you're subscribed to HITC Sevens, and head over to www.englandsgreatestdefender.com to have your mind blown by the best football book ever written.